Okay, hi, my name's Kendal Yonemoto. I'm here with Howie Clark today. What we're going to do is introduce some rotational power explosive drills and exercises using a medicine ball. My background is I ran track and field with a group of Olympic sprinters for 6 years. I started when I was 30, ran till I was about 36. And in learning how to run track and field, I realized I'm a golfer and I coach golf, but I realized that track athletes work a lot harder than golfers do. And I also understood after training with those guys for 3 to 4 hours a day, 8 months a year, for 6 years, that they got a lot of reps in. They really understood a lot about motion in general. So when I went back to train golfers more specifically and train myself, I realized that golf instruction and the rotational power that we were trying to get, we didn't have the background, we didn't have the physiology, and we didn't have enough reps in the training. So because we use a medicine ball a lot with track and field, I took the knowledge that we had there and tried to transfer it over to the rotational power needed for golf. Now what we found is that it actually translates to a lot of different other exercises as well and sports. So Howie's going to help me because he was a professional baseball player, 6 years in the major leagues and a career of 18 years. We're going to show you some exercises that you can transfer to your sports. Now I wrote a book called The Athletic Fundamentals of Golf, and we have these 8 principles of athletic movement. So we're going to show you how to understand movement by analyzing principles, and we'll show you exercises that help you understand the principles so we can demonstrate them for you. And then hopefully you'll learn how to think critically and creatively using the principles. Okay, in this section we're going to go through the first 3 principles of athletic motion. Then the easiest way to do it is to run through exercises and explain how the principles apply. So my nature is not to overteach, so what we like to do is get into the action pretty much right away. So this is an assessment that I use with my players and athletes from every sport that come through the door. So what I'm going to do is, Howie's standing right here. Normally what I'd do is I'd stand and have him throw it to me, but because of the space we have, he's just going to throw it at the wall. Okay, so Howie, go ahead and take the ball, hold it in front of you, and what I'll do is I'll just demonstrate, tell him to take it back and through and just throw it. Go ahead and take it back and through and throw it. Good. And again. Good. Now Howie's pretty good. He's got a pretty high level of coordination. So I'll tell you now what we're looking for. The medicine ball toss as we do it is a very good indicator of how somebody moves. The ball, the test, and this comes from golf, is if somebody can throw that ball straight at the wall and have it come directly back to him and the ball's not spinning, that shows that they've actually sequenced the throw pretty well. Now, in applying it to other sports, obviously the arm planes are different for every sport, but the principles remain the same. So the first principle is this. The first principle is midline. And what we say is you're strong and balanced with your hands on your midline. So my midline is here. It bisects my body. My midline plane extends this way to infinity. So if you imagine a line that cuts me right down the middle. So if Howie comes in, he can just stand with the ball in his midline. Now, one of the things we say is you're strong and balanced with your hands neutral on your midline. So if he holds it here, that's where you hold most things that are heavy. Now, if he was another one of the drills, we call it pass the baby. So if he was just to stand there and he was going to pass me, say, an infant, say a 2-year-old kid, go ahead and what would you do to pass me a 2-year-old kid? Right. So he'd hold the kid with the head level, right? You wouldn't hold a baby like this. You'd hold it straight up like this, under the armpits, and if he holds it on his midline with his hands neutral, he's in a pretty good position. He's a pretty strong guy, but even if I move it off neutral a bit, he's nowhere near as strong. So it's a position of power. He's going to hold it on his midline neutral. So if he actually let it come down and then turned and then raise it on the other side, still be on his midline the whole time. So he's always going to be moving with the ball on his midline. That's the first principle. So you're strong and balanced with your hands neutral on your midline. And that's what we're looking for when Howie throws a ball. We're looking to see if it stays on midline or if it wraps, right? And we'll talk about direction in a second. Okay, the second principle is this. The second principle is center of gravity control. So if I hold the ball close to me like this, so there's a short lever length, the center of gravity of the ball is close to my center of gravity. I've got pretty good control. The further out it gets, if Howie tried to push down on this ball, It's easy for him to push me off balance this way. Here, I'm not going to be pushed off balance. I'm in a pretty stable, strong position. There's two aspects to center of gravity control: the short lever length and actually lowering my center of gravity to be more stable. Okay? Now, if we understand we've got midline and then we have center of gravity control, those two things make up the third principle, which we call physical advantage. So physical advantage is moving and never giving up either your midline or center of gravity control. So now when Howie throws the ball, go ahead and throw the ball again. Try not to think too much. Keep the eyes moving. Good. Go ahead. Those are pretty good throws. The ball is coming straight back to him. It's not spinning too much. So the ball is actually giving you immediate feedback on his motion. Now, if he was, because he plays baseball, we'll get him to do drills where he's actually trying to sync it up in his plane of motion. Even if it's overhead, we want to see if he can actually match up midline and control his center of gravity. Okay? Okay, good. So as a coach, what I'm looking at, I don't even necessarily really need high-speed video, because rhythm is a very important part of looking at this. I want to see how he moves. I want to see if he's balanced after he throws. I'm looking for the ball to give me feedback, but I'm also looking at Howie's body. So if he throws it again and you're watching him, is he keeping the ball close to his midline? Does he look like it's traveling close to his body so he's got a short lever length? Right? Go ahead and throw it again. And it looks like he's doing a lot of things right. Now, can you do it wrong on purpose?
Sure.
Go ahead. Right, now it's obvious, like if he wraps his arms, it's going to go left. So if I'm standing here and I'm trying to hit anything, it doesn't really matter if it's a tennis ball, a golf ball, baseball. If I actually have my arms past my midline, then the ball is going to go left. If my contact's in this position. If my contact is a little bit back, then the ball is going to go right. So golf, tennis, baseball, it's the same sort of idea, and that's why we like to use principles.